Now, it's no longer hot off the press that various opposition parties in Nigeria have rejected the declared results of the presidential election and are mounting legal challenges and calling for a fresh ballot. What is still being assessed is how those declared results reflected a major shift in Nigeria's electoral map. President Buhari wrote on Twitter that he'd never seen the electoral map shift so drastically in one cycle. Well, that is just one consequence. The other, according to the group known as the National Integration Forum, is how those results have highlighted Nigeria's deep ongoing divisions, with many Nigerians voting according to ethnic, religious, and social sentiments. So in many ways, the election results have left this country more divided. And the biggest task ahead, beyond obviously righting whatever wrongs there were in the process of the polls, is the difficult task of uniting Nigeria. Well, for more on this, I'm joined now in the studio by the Secretary General of the National Integration Forum, Shittu Muhammad, who's been twice recognized with the national honors of Member of the Order of the Niger, MON, and Officer of the Order of the Federal Republic, OFR. Thank you very much indeed for joining us.
Thank you.
What feelings has this presidential election crystallized in you?
For us, we come from the advantage it has brought to the country. First of all, I would like to, the Integration Forum would like to thank the major two presidential candidates, that is Obi and Tinubu. First of all, you see what happened in Lagos. You see the changes in Lagos. And for us, for Lagos to sustain and agree and go on without us seeing any violence, is an achievement.
Well, actually, I don't mean to interrupt you, but we've seen, particularly in Lagos, issues about indigents and non-indigents, especially with regard to people of Igbo ethnicity. There have been targeted violent attacks, it's documented, verbal abuse, demonization, shops being burnt, etc. And it seems to be increasing in intensity as the governorship elections approach. I mean, how does your National Integration Forum intervene in such instances? Because we haven't really seen much activity from you in that regard. And you're telling us that it was ship-shape and seaworthy.
No, I'm thanking them because if you look at Obi have to move from one state to another, even to Edo State, to say, look, my people, be patient. Let us go to the judiciary. Let judiciary determine our fate. Don't let us take law to our hand. We need to commend him for doing that.
I see the point you're making.
We need to commend him for doing that. We need to commend them for allowing peace to reign, the relative peace we have today. And as a body, we have put up a lot of pamphlets, we are trying to, as I'm here today, it's a beginning of saying we are coming to the press to tell Nigerians that whatever we encounter, the judiciary is there for us, for Nigerians, and for us to also urge judiciary to be fair in their own judgment. In order to, they must look at the country first and look at what will unite us and integrate the country in their judgment.
Yeah, but in order to do that, you have to identify where the problem is and identify the fact that there is a problem. Because when I spoke to you on the phone at the weekend, you suggested that this election has brought to the fore everything that is wrong with the electoral and political system in this country, most notably the existing ethnic and religious divisions. Do you think this election result has left Nigeria more divided?
For us, if we said more divided, it only has put us to vote on religious, ethnicity, and those are the division that is trying to rear its head. But if you also look, that both parties have gained significantly in each of the zone. You find out the Labour has gained into the north. The APC has moved to gain in the east. The PDP has also encroached some areas in the West. So you find out that, yes, we vote in according to religion and tribal, but we still hold that in our mind that we still have a country. And that is why we are here, to say, look, whatever whatever division, whatever we are seeing that can break the country, it does not worth the peace that we must strive to have in our society.
Right. So
this peace is more advantageous to all of us, because if without peace, I won't be here with you.
Right. So what's the
we
best
need
way?
that peace.
Right. What's the best way to go about uniting Nigeria after those sharp divisions that you identified?
The best way, that's why first we are urging the judiciary to be fair.
So justice must be seen to be done. Right.
If justice seems to be done, people will be satisfied.
Right.
Secondly, as a people, we must believe in the country, that this indivisibility of the country, we must hold into it, and we must see ourselves as one, not from different ethnicity or something, because poverty does not know breed, religion, or tribal. And the country, in order for the investors to even come and invest in your country, and for you to even be able to carry on the economic activities, you need the peace. And we are about 200 million. If there's any break, where do we go? Which country around us can take us? Nowhere. So we must strive to take that peace. We must strive. We must be able to bury some of our grievances to see that the country had peace.
But that peace must be predicated on justice, because you can't ask someone to bury their grievances when they've clearly been either cheated or some fraud has taken place, and clearly, according to the people who feel aggrieved, there's been a whitewash. I mean, you can't expect people in those circumstances to just sit back and, in the interest of peace, say, okay, you have it, because you conned your way to the top. I mean, that's totally unacceptable.
For us to be sitting today, 2 weeks after the presidential election, even before presidential election, people were moving out of the country. Before the presidential election, people were moving out. In fact, you see some foreign countries refusing people to visa because they don't want them to move. But today, after the election, people are moving back. That is why I first commend our presidential candidates in person of Obi and to say they were going round. That is integration. Some of us have gone round our friends, go round to talk to them that, look, the Nigerian come first and let judiciary, because now everything is in the table of the judiciary. So we are putting more effort to see that we urge judiciary to be fair, to be seen that justice is done. And whoever emerge, justice must be seen to be done, and that will give proper reconciliation and proper integration. It will help even our body as we are going round. But first of all, judiciary is the key today, and we commend them because they moved to judiciary. They didn't take violence. They must be commended. In fact, if I'm the president, I will even honor them, because they have right to have called for violence, but they did not.
Right. So tell us about your group, the National Integration Forum. I mean, what is it, and what is it trying to achieve?
The National Integration Forum is a body of eminent Nigerians who in 2020 sat down and looked at the country and said, look, it's time that we see the country we see ourselves, we believe in the country, and we believe that we are one. Either you are Igbo, you are Yoruba, you are Hausa, you are Fulani, or whoever you are. The country must come first. You must believe in the country. It is because we have a country that we call ourselves Nigerian. It is because we have country that the economic activities within our region is going on. It's because we have country that you have these assemblies, you have the governors, you have this. If you don't have country, where would me and you have been? And for us to guide this country, we must call all the ethnic group and then be tolerant of one another and believe that we are Nigerian. Before you say you are Igbo or you are Yoruba or you are West or South, you must have in your back of your mind that you are Nigerian first.
That's the way it ought to be, but that's not the way it is.
That is what we are urging Nigeria.
Yes. That's part of what your National Integration Forum is trying to do. But does this presidential election disaster, as some people see it, tell a bigger story about this country and the significant challenges that it is going through? Because you have lots of anger, you have to admit that. There's a fundamental lack of trust. There's a huge desire for accountability and a pushback against what people see as the impunity of power.
This election, it has its advantage and it also has its disadvantage. Before the election, I'm a politician. As Mr. President said, who believe that somebody that joined a party within 2-3 months was being able to cross over? It's a handshake across the River Niger from there to north and got a lot of inroad into the north from the south. Who believe that? It has advantage too, because now it shows us that people now believe in power of ballot, in the power of their card. They believe that democracy has come to stay. They believe that we must strive to make democratic process stand.
Right.
The only thing that we must guide against is that integration of the country. And that is why we are here. We must, now that people are believing in the democratic process, we must now, as quickly as possible, integrate the country alongside democratic process.
Right.
And then it will marry themselves. And next, by 2027, when you are telling people that it's an Igbo, even now you can see even this election, can you tell me, in my own village, Gwagwa here, I stand on the line. You cannot say this Igbo man or this Hausa man or this. I strive for my party to win my own little enclave. I have to strive. That is to tell you that people...
What's your party again? Because I know you were a member of the APC at one point. Are you still a member of the APC?
I'm still a member of the APC.
Well, you didn't emphasize that bit, did you? You kind of, let it sink under the National Integration Forum.
I'm not. You must belong to a party. You are sitting here. You must also belong to a party.
No, I don't belong to a party.
Probably.
I couldn't possibly belong to a party. I'm a journalist.
Where you must have sympathy for a party.
No, that's not the issue. Anyway,
where I'm going is that I even saw people going to the hospital near clinic. I saw it, I have the picture, where they took somebody, he said, take me, even if I will die, I must vote.
Right, okay.
That is to tell you, democratic norms have been accepted by Nigeria.
Well, I've got Professor Abiodun Adeniyi
we need
waiting
integration.
here. I can't keep him waiting. He's too much of a distinguished gentleman for that. But I want to thank you very much indeed, Shittu Muhammad. He's the Secretary General of the National Integration Forum. Thank you very much indeed.